Hello and welcome, my name is Flume, and today we're going to play some Hearthstone. Now, I wanted to show you guys this deck that I was playing around with back at the start of the Grand Tournament expansion. And I sort of got distracted, didn't play it so much, and now I'm revisiting it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So the idea is to use, basically cards like Warhorse Trainer, cards like Scarlet Purifier, which I'd never played around with, and I was determined to give it a crack. Cards like Solemn Vigil, which is of course a BlackRock card. This is a GVG card, and basically create a kind of aggressive tempo style Paladin that looks to out value your opponent early on. So I suppose the big question is, how the hell am I using this guy? Oh, the other card you may have noticed, which is, let's say, underused in Paladin, is I'm actually rocking a Bolvar 4-Dragon. Yep. So I'll explain all of it, starting with the Scarlet Purifier. So a really nice little combo that you can do is, of course, play him when you have a Nerubian Egg on the board, so Nerubian Egg turn 2, and then turn 3 Scarlet Purifier, and that is a very, very strong turn 3, in my opinion. So what other activators do we have for Nerubian Egg? We have, where is it here? Seal of the Champions, so you give a minion +3 attack and Divine Shield, so not only do you give it attack, so it activates and you can trade with it, but it gets a Divine Shield, so you can get extra value for it. And if he silences it, that's actually not terrible for us. So the other thing is Blessing of Might. You can use that to just straight up trade with something, and 3 attack is pretty good in the early turns. We also have a Defender of Argus, which is pretty good. I used to run 2 of these, but I wanted to put in some Haunted Creepers, so I ended up cutting 1 of these and 1 Solemn Vigil as well in order to put in 2 Haunted Creepers, just to have a bit more early game. Haunted Creepers are great. This may be a mistake. I might go back to cutting out these and putting in a second Defender and a second Solemn Vigil, but we'll see how this goes. So the Warhorse Trainer, this is good for, muster for battle, hero powering a lot, comboing with Quartermaster. Yeah, I just wanted to see how these guys go. I haven't tested them enough to really definitively say whether I like them or not. Them sharing 3 mana cost with muster for battle kind of makes your curve a little awkward. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, but we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see how it goes. Rocking a Cog Hammer just to give us some extra punch, and also to buff our minions, and keep them around a little bit longer. Solemn Vigil, we actually get tons of value here. So obviously there's the Equality Consecrate combo, which is really powerful, and then you can get out Solemn Vigil pretty cheaply. Also, of course, when we have a ton of little minions on the board from things like Haunted Creeper, from things like playing a Scarlet Purifier on top of a Nerubian Egg, or even things like just having a bunch of Muster for Battle tokens out there, we attack them in to our opponent, killing a lot of them, and which gives us a really cheap Solemn Vigil. Which leads me to the final card I'll explain before we get into a game here, which is Bolvar 4-Dragon. Now, he's only really good if you keep him in your starting hand, and that kind of sounds unintuitive, but let me explain. We have a pretty low curve in this deck, so we're playing a lot of minions before turn 5, and not a lot of minions afterwards. So if we have him in our starting hand, we probably already have some minions to play in our hand, and even if we don't, we'll be drawing a whole bunch. So we'll have things to play, is what I'm trying to say, before turn 5, and these things are going to be dying and getting value off of our opponent. And then on turn 5, you play Bolvar 4-Dragon, and if he's a 6/7, 5/7, 7/7 is even still pretty good, even though it's weak to BGH, but it's just a really strong card for 5 mana. Those kinds of stats. 7 health is really difficult for your opponent to deal with. Now the problem is he can just silence it, but given that we've got a bunch of buffs in our deck, even the Coghammer, things like Tyrion to finish off late game, we don't mind, him silencing this. We still have ways to increase his attack with the buffs we have, and 7 health is pretty relevant. So it's not the worst. So you play Bolvar 4 Dragon, for example, turn 5, he silences it, what a shame, but then you Seal of Champions him, and now he's a 4/7 with Divine Shield, which isn't terrible. It isn't terrible, it's a decent body. So that's the logic. You can see the other cards. I can go over them very quickly. So we got 1 equality. Generally, you don't need 2 Knife Jugglers, 2 Shielded Minibots because it's just a really reliable early game minion. 2 Warhorse Trainers, 2 Scarlet Purifiers, like I said. We got the True Silver Champions just because keeps the pressure up, gets our trades efficient. Running 2 Consecrations because we really do need 2 in this kind of deck. Only 1 Defender, 1 Solemn, Bolvar. Just the 1 Quartermaster. I tend to find that if I have 2 in my deck, often the case is I draw like 2 of them, and I have 2 of them in my hand, and I just never need 2 in my hand at any time, so it's a little awkward there. Dr. Boom, because we need a little bit of late game, and for that same reason, Tyrion's in the deck. He is a very strong way to close out the game and finish. So there it is. So we're just going to get straight into a ranked match with it. Now, I'm only rank 15. I haven't been playing a lot this season, but I think we should get some good games in. So Secrets Paladin is been the flavor of the expansion when it comes to Paladin decks, and fair enough. Secrets Paladin is really, really strong. But, I think this deck is interesting. I think even though it may not be as strong as some other of the competitive decks out there, often it does things that surprise you. So we're going to assume we're playing an aggro-y style Paladin, maybe a Secrets. Now this hand isn't great. It's tempting to keep the True Silver. We don't want to keep these 2. Nerubian Egg's a decent keep. I think we might want to aggressively mill for a few more minions to play alongside Nerubian Egg. I don't think True Silver is going to do it. Maybe if I had 2 cards I didn't mind keeping, I might keep a True Silver. And this is pretty decent. Coin is good. If I draw... okay, well there's the first secret. If I draw my Scarlet Purifier, which I don't, I would have instantly coined out Nerubian Egg. And you know what? I think I might anyway. We want to set it up, get it out there, get it ready. At the moment, we're probably going to play Nerubian Egg turn 2 into Muster for Battle turn 3. Muster for Battle, I think, plays really nicely into any kind of secret he might have. Knife Juggler is tempting, but the problem is that with a secret up, Knife Juggler can't really do anything to follow up. Like, it's not like I can attack in. It's just pretty much dying straight up to his damage. And like I said, he doesn't really have a lot that threatens me right now anyway, so Knife Juggler pressure isn't necessary. We're quite happy to, get value later for the sake of, being a little patient now. So he musters for battle. This is a little scary, but we'll be alright. Muster Knife Juggler combo is really strong. I've got the second Knife Juggler here, so I'm a little interested in what I should be doing. I've got the Consecration for next turn, so what I'm going to do is Coghammer, which actually activates one of my Nerubian Eggs here. As you see, it gets taunt, right? Which is really interesting. And then I'm going to attack his face because, like I said, I'll probably end up consecrating next turn. Alright, well we know it's not a noble sacrifice, so it's probably Avenge, or... well, I mean, it could be anything, really. For now, we're just going to let it go. Blessing of Kings. So Blessing of Kings is really scary, because if it is Avenge, then consecrating like essentially loses us the game. However, we did draw Seal of Champions, and we know this isn't noble sacrifice, so it should be pretty safe to just simply shield this and attack. But like I said, if we do that, then we lose one of our ways to activate our Nerubian egg here. So I could also Seal of Champions this, and then hit face, and then go face with this. Sorry, so let me say that again. Seal of Champions the egg to hit his buffed minion, and then use my face to finish it off, and then just simply hit him. Oh, I'm running out of time.
Let me think.
This is a threat. Consecration is not. This forces him to kill it. Avenge is rough, but that's the way it is. For now, he probably just hits here and dies anyway. So, in a sense, we were trading a card for a card. This is good for us. We get better value off our consecration here. It's just annoying because there are going to be... We're not going to have a way to strictly just straight up kill this. Apart from the weapon, which I think is probably worth. It's kind of an interesting question to ask, like whether or not I should wait to get more value off Consecrate. I could simply Knife Juggler Muster for Battle now. I'm going to just Consecrate because I know I have a second one. And this really puts him on the back foot for a while. Again, the egg is indeed an investment for later. We drew a little bit of a slow hand. The Murloc Knight comes out. So we'll see what he gets. Could have been a lot worse. Oh great, so we got an activator for our egg, which perfectly kills the cold lights here. Now, because it's only 1 mana, we can even Knife Juggler combo as well. So I'm going to play the Knife Juggler, buff my egg, kill his Murloc, which of course gives me a juggle, and then Muster for Battle.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Well,
Reporting for duty.
those were not very good juggles for me. But, you know, it is what it is. We still got another Knife Juggler for more delicious combos later. Oh wow, yeah, the Consecration. That's the risk you run sometimes. It wouldn't surprise me if he killed my Nerubian with his Murloc. Okay, he decides not to. Interesting. Obviously, we really want that Murloc to die. So we'll get the trade. And play Dr. Boom. So we're getting low. Times are hard for us. He's put really decent pressure on the board and on us. He's still got more cards in hand than I, so unfortunately he had a few answers here.
Well met.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Good.
Justice demands retribution. Well met.
Hard not to be a little cocky.
Thank you.
Okay, so with Blessing of Might, I can still make Dr. Boom a relevant body on the board. I might do it this way. Okay.
My shield for Argon. For justice.
we'll leave it at that. I maybe should have killed his Silverhand recruit instead, because like of the threat of potential quartermaster. Okay, Sword of Justice comes down. My opponent is playing a very interesting deck.
Reporting for duty.
Alright. Ooh, Seal of Champions here. So many buffs, so little time. Let's see where the juggle goes.
Reporting for duty.
Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. How to clear? I think I will use him to kill here. Alright, alright. You've had your say. We're going to... We're going to buff our Dr. Boom here, buff our Knife Juggler like that, get the trade, hit the face. So, that was a tricky choice. I could have given the... I basically wanted to preserve the health on my taunt minion, was what it came down to, was where the decision point was. I knew I was not going to sacrifice my Knife Juggler, and the question then was, alright, well, GG, good friend. That's game over. I thought I could probably... he could probably kill my Knife Juggler, but like I said, I wanted to preserve the health of my taunt unit. So, we climb it. That was pretty good. We'll go for another game. We'll make it 2 games here. I want to thank you all for your patience. I'm still getting used to commentating my thought process as I play. So yeah, I thank you for your continuing patience. Now this is interesting. I think one of the reasons I cut Haunted Creeper from the original deck idea was because Scarlet Purifier actually, sometimes you don't want him to trigger on the Haunted Creeper. However, we're going to keep this hand here. Scarlet Purifier, we want to play turn 3, but we're quite happy to also be patient with him also. We're going to coin out Muster for Battle into turn 3 Warhorse Trainer. That's just the way it goes. Especially now that we drew a Quartermaster. So it's going to be interesting. An interesting sequence of plays here. We'll have the Haunted Creeper, Scarlet Purifier to reload if he clears the board. A swipe... Oh, man. Now you're going to see why this is amazing. A swipe obviously is really bad for us. But he can't play swipe, at least for another couple of turns. So this is going to get damage value immediately. And even if he does swipe, he's feeding the Bolvar. So this is where the deck really shines. Wrathful 1 is pretty understandable.
Mount up! To battle! To battle! For justice!
Alright. So next turn, turn 4, we probably play Haunted Creeper and Hero Power. That's generally the way it's going to go down. Swipe, of course, ruins this board. But, you know, sometimes you got to gamble. So let's see what he has.
I must safeguard the land.
Interesting. Okay, so he's clearing the board. So, ooh. This changes everything. So Bolvar you know, okay, we're gonna play Bolvar on turn 5. So basically, what that means is we play our Haunted Creepers right now, and next turn we're quite happy to throw these into our opponent to have them die, which further strengthens Bolvar. So we want to get Bolvar to around 6. Oh, this is perfect. So he's at 5. 6, like I said, is ideal because that way he cannot be BGH'd and he's pretty strong. So we're going to do a bit of that. We're going to do a bit of this. And we're going to finish him off and hit face. Now, he's already used one keeper. Chances are he has another. Druids tend to rely on their keepers for silences, so potentially he doesn't have the second.
I have no time for games.
But there's Sylvanas. So Sylvanas is a very good target for him. Luckily, we drew a Defender of Argus here.
Reporting for duty.
So I'm quite happy to simply taunt up these dudes and hit face. So what this is doing is we're putting enough pressure on him that even if he does eventually get a decent steal on Bolvar, or indeed anything, he's too low to recover. The great thing about this deck, and why I don't run a silence to counter something like a Sylvanas, is because I can flood the board with so many minions that it's unlikely he gets a successful steal. Okay. Now, Knife Juggler's pretty good here. 2 damage to all minions with Death Rattle, so it would damage you. I'm just trying to think if it's worth Scarlet Purifier, using Scarlet Purifier, but I don't think so. For now, I'm going to attack into this guy. It's worth it because it means that next turn, if these both survive, then he can't steal it by trading into it anymore. I think Knife Juggler is really risky. Let's see, so that's 2, 5, 7. We're going to go for the Knife Juggler play. I don't know if this is a good idea. Oh yeah, I should attack first. He did get the steal, but that's fine. Like I said, he got the steal, but it's fine because we've put so much pressure on him that there's no way he can really come back. He needs a lot of things to go his way. We've got the Quartermaster if he heals. Yep. He's going to kill the Knife Juggler, yeah. So well played, my friend.
Well met.
Sorry. Well played.
Well played.
I didn't mean to say well met. Now I look like an asshole. We're just going to Quartermaster. Solemn Vigil, of course. If I traded these dudes in, I could get some card draw if he was in an advantageous position. However, that's not what happened this game. We were in position to win. So I super BM'd that guy by accident. I didn't mean to. But, you know, good games, guys, good games. So, yep, that's the Token Tempo deck. We had one very strong game and one game that started a little rough, but we ended up recovering and getting the win. So that's 2-0, which, you know, can't be unhappy with. So again, this is the deck list. One thing I might consider is removing the Haunted Creepers. But they're so strong with Bolvar and indeed, you know, things like Solemn Vigil that I kind of like them in there. Defender of Argus, again, is really good to recover the board state like you saw in the first game. So all in all, you know, the deck's pretty good. maybe removing some of these buffs for maybe another defender or also a Solemn Vigil might be good, but we also don't really need the card draw, so I think only one is good. So that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you liked it, and have a good day.